Hello, welcome back to the Calm and Connected podcast. I'm your host, Janine Halloran, and today I want to talk about 3 ideas that you can use to work on working together in a group setting. So, for those kids who are really struggling with figuring out how to be together, how to work with somebody, or just need a little extra practice, these 3 ideas are going to give you a great starting point for your next social skills group. So, the first thing I like to think about is keeping the ball up. So, you can just use a plain beach ball. You can get that at a dollar store, or you can even borrow it from the PE teacher at your school. And basically, what you do is you just try to keep the ball up as you go along the group. You establish the rules first, so you can have some really nice conversations with the group about, can the same person touch the ball twice in a row, or can you send it back to the same person? Do you want to call people's names out as a way to just practice names and getting to know each other as well? But basically, what you want to do is just figure out those rules and then keep the ball up as long as possible and find a way to track that. So maybe that's just counting how many bounces there are. But it's a great way to get camaraderie and to get kids to work together, plus a little bit of movement doesn't hurt anybody. It's really great. So I love doing that one. And it's a great icebreaker too if using a kid's name and having them bounce it back and forth. It helps kids really start to remember each other's names as well. Another thing you can do is move the cups. So make a cup tower, but not using your hands. Instead, using a rubber band and having some yarn or string tied to the rubber band. So every person in the group gets a piece of string that's attached to this rubber band. And by working together, you can build a cup tower. You start with, just 3 cups at first. So you could do 2 at the bottom and 1 on top. And then you can make it more complicated, 3, 2, 1, or even 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can use lots of different sizes of cups as well. So you could use the Dixie cups that, the typical bathroom cups that you can use, or you can use the solo cups, the red solo cups. You can also build up on those and see how that works for kids. It's really interesting to see how kids work together and have to maneuver the rubber band around the cup and move it to the top without knocking the other ones over. It really requires a little bit of dexterity and fine motor control. So it's kind of fun. If your group is too big and you don't want to have 6 kids crowded around to try and do this, you could divide the group into 2 or 3. So that way, just a smaller amount of kids are trying to control the cups. It might be a little bit easier to start that way and then build up to having bigger sorts of groups doing it. If you want to take it up a notch, you could have kids use a marker and write something. Instead of having to build a cup tower, now they're working together to write something. Super tricky, kind of fun, a little silly, a little messy. People are going to get frustrated, and it's the perfect way to create a teachable moment. Finally, the last thing you could do to work together as a group is play cooperative board games. So I love the board games by Peaceable Kingdom because they have so many games where the goal is to win the game, and in order to win the game, you all have to work together. So there's Gnomes at Night and Lemonade Shake Up and Mole Rats in Space, and I've talked about those games before. So those are a great way to start working together as a group. If kids are really struggling with being competitive, then I would start with doing a cooperative game so that they are all working together to do something. And another thing you can do is, instead of getting a game specifically designed to work cooperatively for everybody to win together, what you do is you have kids play in teams. So you could play Connect 4 in teams. So 2 kids are on one side, 2 kids are on the other, and they're playing Connect 4 together. And so 2 kids are working together to figure out strategies and where to put their pieces, and playing against another team, or maybe the adult. You could also do this with games like Clue or Battleship, just working together and helping kids figure out how to cooperate and work as a team and work cohesively and listen and pay attention to what the other person is saying in order to actively participate in the game. So I hope that gives you some ways you can practice working as a group. And for more ideas for working together and practicing social skills in a playful way, please check out the Social Skills for Kids workbook, which has over 75 fun games and activities for all sorts of practice for social skills for kids. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us. It helps us get found, and share it with your friends and colleagues. And one last thing, don't forget about yourself. Take a few minutes, have a little fun, and have an awesome day.